Today we'll be talking about One Piece from volume 19 all the way through 33 that I got to. So I don't have like the images to go with it, but from issue 19, volume 19 on, we're talking about, Luffy fighting Crocodile for the first and second time, and Crocodile kind of like kills him very briefly. I met Ace. Ace is a freaking awesome character. He gave him his Vivre card, which doesn't sound like something that's gonna like really reunite them, but we'll see. And the whole Alabaster arc was just freaking amazing. I mean, the Princess Vivi was a great character. Not great, but she was a pretty cool character. She could have fit under the Straw Hats, but she just wasn't that strong. That's why she's not there. And then after that, we got to Mocktown. And Crocodile was just a great villain, by the way. This is probably one of my favorite villains, probably so far in the series. And then once we got to Mocktown, because they were looking for the next island, which is Skypiea, which Skypiea is probably the best arc that, out of all the arcs, even better than in Alabaster, I would say, just because of how awesome the backstory of Norman the Liar was, and all these stories interweaving and connecting and being one and becoming this one really flushed out, really great story that just works really well. And the other thing is, Mocktown also introduced this Blackbeard guy, and he looks like a scumbag. He hasn't even done anything yet, and I already don't like him at all. He's just but it's interesting the things that he was saying to Luffy about, don't give up your dream, I hope you get to Skypiea, all that stuff. And then once they get to Skypiea, it's a pretty epic, encounter they have with Enel, that is like this lightning guy, that's just like pure lightning, and then, oh my gosh, that whole sequence with him ringing the bell. And then, briefly it's like Doflamingo guy, I guess, shows up, and he looks like Jim Carrey from the 90s. Of course, he's going to be something that's going to come back to haunt the Straw Hats, of course, because that's just how it is. And then, even the Ace's little, cover story, I thought it was really cool how he just, this milkmaid saved him, so he gave this letter to basically say, hey, your parents are basically on the Marines and all that. Help the Marines. He got the information about Blackbeard, all that. And that it's like a three kind of thing, Ace is pretty cool. And then, the ring of the bell was probably the epitome of the entire series for me so far. It's like the best part. Just him ringing that bell and basically saying, it was up here this whole time. We found El Dorado. Your ancestors weren't liars. Just really epic, and that's the thing. Luffy just beat the crap out of NL because he wanted to ring the bell to let them know before the end of the world. He didn't really care about NL being in the way of the bell. He just wanted to ring it, just to let them all know down there that, the El Dorado didn't sink to the bottom of the ocean, but it was up in the sky. Chopper actually did a lot in Skypiea. He didn't do whole lot in Alabaster. I don't even remember him doing anything in Alabaster other than being a diversion. Sanjay the Prince was kind of an interesting thing that they kind of just threw in there. I wonder if that'll come back. And then, Luffy using his golden rifle thing, to knock Enel out was a pretty cool move. It's too bad that maybe we'll see him use a move similar like that in the future, because that looks pretty cool. Obviously, he's not going to have gold in the future, though. And then I just love how they try to steal the gold off of Skypiea, but then they're like, no, we want to thank you. And it's like, whoops. Also, I guess Ace can turn into fire. I know that he can use it, but I didn't know he could turn into it. The lightning guy did that same thing, of course. It's going to be probably something that comes up later. Series, of course. Zoro actually did some stuff, but not a whole lot. The only thing is their bounties should have gone up after this encounter, but it won't because no one even will hear of Skypiea, which is kind of a good thing for them. They didn't have to deal with the Marines, but they had to deal with, the other thing about Skypiea is it was a bit confusing how many different, facets of people. There was, these Satora guy that was really lame, and then like all those people that worked for Nell that I don't know what they were doing, and then there's all these like other guys, including Gangford, that had like was I don't know, it was just too many things, too many moving pieces. Honestly, it was like a chess match between 4 people at the same time with one board. It was like what's happening? That's the one complaint I have about Skypiea, and Alabaster didn't seem like that. Alabaster is a little bit better in that regard, but I don't think Alabaster had a better ending. Nico Robin was doing a whole lot. I guess she can read the poneglyphs, which is pretty cool. I really like that, the fact that she actually serves another purpose, and I like how she joined the Straw Hat Crew, and like she was a villain, but I like how like in Naruto we have to hear their backstory and yada yada yada, and it would just take forever. And on top of it, it's like the lamest excuse, like always talk no jutsu. But here, like, nah, Nico Robin just joins purely on the fact that she's like, oh, well, you saved my life and I didn't want you to save it, so you're gonna have to repay your debt by having me on there. And basically, I'm gonna go to the end to Raftel with you guys to read the poneglyphs, which is a pretty cool reason to continue to go on there. And then, yeah, the whole Noah's liar backstory worked really well. I don't like the new arc. I mean, I heard Water 7's great, but I mean, so far, that whole weird, like, elf guy that shows up on the bamboo thing and these foxy pirates, I just want nothing to do with them. I hope they're wrapped up really soon. They gotta go. Oh yeah, another highlight was when Luffy punched this random pirate guy. They kept going on and on and on about, I have a 30 million or 52 million bounty, blah blah blah, and then he just knocks him out with one damn punch, just completely obliterates him, and that was just so epic. And see, the thing is, we get to this epicness, and then we have this weird arc in between, so I don't know how long this is going to last, of being on the Circle Island or whatever, but it's hopefully not much longer, because it's extremely boring, and I'd like to skip it. I don't know if I can, or if there's going to be a plot that comes up, but like I just want to skip it. And also the D reference, Monkey D, Roger D. Gold, kind of gets, talked about here, because he wrote, apparently the King of the Pirates wrote on the poneglyph somehow, so he knows the language. It'd be kind of interesting if Luffy was able to learn the language, but he's not going to happen, because Nico Robin would serve no purpose then. Yeah, I didn't really like Nami in this arc, and to be honest, if Nami doesn't end up with Luffy, it's going to be like, what are they even doing? Because like, this is the second time now that Luffy gives Nami his treasure, being his hat, and they seem to work as a couple, but I just don't really like. I don't really know what the hell. Nami always acts tough, but she doesn't really have anything to back it up. It's just like Sakura again, except she actually does serve a purpose as a navigator. It's just she doesn't actually serve any purpose in a fight. Which is kind of lame. I don't know. Chopper's kind of the same way. It's like, well, he's a doctor, but like when it comes down to him having to fight, it's like, I mean, he's pretty diverse with being able to transform, but it doesn't really like serve a whole lot of a purpose. I mean, I guess you only have Sanjay. Well, even Sanjay doesn't do really anything. Like, so what? He kicks some guys. Like, yeah, not yet have I seen him do anything to really impress me, other than saving them out of Crocodile's thing. That was probably about his biggest highlight so far, but definitely liking it overall. So, till next time.